Yeah, hello. So welcome back. We are going to solve more questions on inequalities. Now let's check out this number two. Show each of these solution sets on a number line. So let's take A first. That's number 2A. Here we have x is greater than 3. So here we have we identify our 0 points. Now to the right of 0 we have positive values, and to the left of 0 we have negative values. So we could decide to just place our 3 here and place our negative 3 here. Now that's not to say that we do not have some values in between 0 and 3. Okay, we have 1, 2, and other middle numbers in between. So but we are just interested in x is greater than 3. Okay, x is greater than 3. So um, we draw a circle on 3 and then we take it to the right. Okay, so that's the solution for x is greater than 3. And what are the values that are greater than 3? We talk about 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now let's look at the next one, which is b, which it says x is less or equal to negative 3. So we draw a number line, can identify our negative 3 and identify our 3. Now x is less than or equal to negative 3. So we draw a circle and then we shade the circle completely. Okay, we shade it completely. Now it says that is less or equal to. So when you hear less than, that means we are going to the left. Okay, so we move to the left in this direction. So the values that are less than or equal to negative 3 include, so we're going to start from negative 3 itself, okay, then negative 4, negative 5, and so on and so forth. All right, let's move on to C. I believe these are easy questions. So for you to solve C, it says that x is less than 0. Okay, so you identify your 0 here and then you draw your circle on 0. And then less than means you go to the left. Okay, so you move to the left and that's it. Okay, now same thing goes for D, E. Okay, well let's work on D is kind of similar to what we've been doing. Okay, let's say we have 0 here and we have negative 20 here. Since x is greater than, so we're going to have this, the circle shaded because we have equal to as well with it, and then greater than, so we move to the right. So it's as simple as that. That is the value for, that is the number line for x is greater or equal to negative 20. Okay, next we have this E. It says that 0 is less than x and x is less or equal to 7. So there are two ways by which you can look at this. Now let me show you the faster method, which I hope you'll find it easy. Now here they say that 0 is less than x. Okay, if 0 is less than x, it means that x is greater than 0, right? So you have your if you have your 0 here, you have your 7 here. Let's assume you have your negative 7 here. Okay, now 0 is less than x, so the values of x are greater, meaning that if you draw your circle here, you're not shading to the right, you have values that are greater than 0. Okay, so those are values that are greater than 0. You move to the right. Now that's the first part of the question. The second part now says that x is less or equal to 7. So it means that the values of x, they are less than 7 and equal to 7. So meaning that the values from 7 to the back, that is 7, 6, 5, 4, and so on and so forth. So meaning that we could just move in this direction, shade 7 because it's also equal to 7, all right, and then you move in this direction. So as you're moving to the right, you're also moving to the left. So the values in between here up to 7 are the values. So in this case, our answers are from 1, we have 1, 2, 3, until we get to 7. So 7 is inclusive in the answer. I hope you understand that. Okay, so another way you can look at this question is sometimes you could decide to split this equation 0 less than x, okay, less or equals to 7. So you can split it first like this and have 0 is less than x and say x is greater than 0, all right? Then you can have the other part, which is x is greater or equal to 7. Oh, sorry. Or you say x is less or equal to 7. Okay, so um, plot, you can put each of them on the number line separately and then join it together. So if you're going to be using that, so imagine you have your 0 here. They said x is greater than 0. Okay, x is greater than 0. So meaning that our values are greater than 0 goes to the right of 0. You understand? Go to the right of 0. Then the other one says that x is, so let's say here you have a 7. X is less than or equal to 7. So we have a circle on 0 on 7. We're going to shade the circle, okay, and then we move to the left because it's less than or equal to, so, and then you join it. So you can see that. So that will still give you the correct answer. All right, so lastly, let's quickly take on F for this question 2. All right, so for F, we have -2 is less or equals to x, and x is less than 5. Okay, so let -2 less or equals to x, and x is less than 5. Okay, so when you say -2 is less than x, meaning that x is greater than -2. Okay, so if you have your number line and you have 0 here, you have -2 here, let's say we have our 5 here. Okay, now if you say that x -2 is less than, yeah, I know there's equal to, but let's just take it one after the other. If you say -2 is less than x, okay, mean that x is greater. So mean that the values of x we are referring to are on the right. They're on the right. Okay, so then also equal to, meaning that we're going to shade what we have inside here, and then we go to the right. Then x is also less than 5. X is less than 5. So it means that we're going to look at 5, and then we're going to shade 5. Okay, less than means you go to the left. So move to the left in this direction. So that is the number line for that particular equation. So if you ask what are those values, so the values include -2, start from -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure you do not include 5. Why? Because 5, we do not shade 5, so 5 is not included in the answer. Alright, thank you.